The PMP comrades on a step forward. I want to come about today because everywhere you go, the comrades, they are so upset about the independence celebration, the one that was held at the National Stadium, and I'm seeing where the mayor of St. Elizabeth is coming out to state that there was a low turnout at a flag raising independence ceremony down there in St. Elizabeth. And when you check the comment section, they're all about, you know, if you take the money and build house to people and instead of a celebrate. So it's clear that members of the PMP are severely upset at Jamaicans, well-thinking Jamaicans, celebrating the fact that we are an independent nation. Now, PMP, answer this question for me, because it seems as if there's a disconnect with what is happening in Jamaica, and it's so much easier for persons to grab on to negativity that comes out of the PMP supporters, because they are the ones that's pushing the negativity. Now, the PMP supporters, they're not asking the PMP executive leadership for all the donation money that they collected and what it is that they did with it. And those monies were collected on the basis that this would have been used to help persons that were affected by Hurricane Melissa. No, they ain't asking those persons. They are not calling out their members of parliament for what is it that they're doing with the constituency fund that they have to assist them. They are not calling them out. What you see happening is PMP supporters come online and being very disrespectful to the Prime Minister of Jamaica. Never have they disrespected the opposition leader. Never have they disrespected their member of parliament, who should be ensuring that they themselves, they are the person that's on the ground with them and should be ensuring that all of this. But all of them come out, Andrea this and Andrea that, and where I'm to go and their mother and this and that. That is what they come out and they talk about, and they expect that disrespect is going to move them forward. They don't think about these things that they are saying. But what I cannot understand is, especially when you look at the persons in Westmoreland and the fact that Danry Delance's municipality that he leads, the money had to be returned to central government, and there was no denial coming out of Danry Delance and his team down there. What we're seeing is a sabotage that came out on the voice note. But the PMP supporters, they're not talking about that. They're not talking about those monies that had to be returned to central government. That was there to take care of them. But they're coming out every day bashing the government who is not being supported and who for house now, build back and whatever. The government will support. And even though the government is saying, oh, we have these container homes, you just need to get the base and everything needs to set up and all of that. They are not looking at that, and everything is a process. And while this process happens, PMP, as Jamaicans, we are still going to celebrate the fact that we're an independent nation and we are 64 years old. We're still going to celebrate that. We are not going to take the fact that you all are so sad and you all are so disrespectful. We're not going to take that and not celebrate. We are still going to celebrate. Despite everything that you all are going through, we are still going to celebrate.
Well, the one thing I know, PNP don't share relationship with the truth. You're using a word, but you don't know the meaning of the word. I don't think we can use truth and PNP in the same sentence. She's responding to my video for the person who was talking about this set hospital in Jamaica. Oh my God, okay. Yeah, I think when we heard the leaked tapes, we knew exactly who you are. Because as a PNP supporter, you support delay tactics if it means getting you people back in power. That's what it tells me. PNP supporters don't care about the people who were homeless, about the people who got badly affected by the hurricane. As long as you can use it to your benefit, then you all are fine with it. When the 28 MPs, PNP MPs voted against NARA. And NARA is trying to eliminate the red tapes that people are always complaining about, where they say you have to go through so much to get business done in Jamaica. NARA is actually trying to make it easier for the people who get affected so badly, who have lost everything. And behind closed doors, we are hearing exactly how the PNP think. And whomever leaked it, it's clear that that person believed that that was wrong. So we do have good-hearted people out there still. We still have people who believe that that wasn't right and that person leaked it. And no one has thanked that person. So we have to thank that person, because it is clear that whomever raised that person with good values, with good morals, good ethics, where the PNP could not overhaul. That person's heart is a good heart, because they were willing to make that known, that this is what they plan on doing to these people who are homeless. In Westmoreland, my very good friend, Delancey, sent back these $70-odd million for the people who were to do the work to get the containers foundation going. My good friend, Danry and I worked together for many years in Jamaica. Good friend. PNP, labor right. My good friend Danry sent back. I'm very disappointed in Delancey. Very disappointed. Because there are just some instances where you have to forget politics. When that hurricane destroyed New Jersey and Governor Christie of the Republican Party embraced and welcomed Barack Obama to New Jersey to walk with him, to look at the destruction, he put party politics aside and he put his people first. He put the pain of his people first. He went against his party, and that made him a human being. He became so beloved after that. There are times when you have to stop playing politics. And the problem I have with the PNP and their supporters is they don't know when to stop. There is a time and a place for everything. Even the oldest book in the world, that book have never come off the bestseller list. The oldest book in the world tells you there is a time and a place for everything. The fact that in a moment when this country was going through one of its hardest times, because Melissa hit Jamaica and hit some part of Jamaica in a huge way, that many hundreds of persons lost everything. In that moment, the members of the PNP should have gone, and the members of the JLP should have gone and come together and say, let us work as one. Both of them could have shared the spotlight. Both of them could have gotten the praises. In moments like these, you forget everything else, and humanity should come first. But in that moment, the only thing that the PNP could think of is how to place roadblocks for NARA. How to stop NARA from aiding these people. How to play delay politics. How to destroy a good man's name. It tells you what they are, who they are in private. It tells you that these are people who do not love this country, who do not want the best for this country. It tells you. I could never support that type of party. If I had heard a tape come out and the JLP was saying these things, I would be disgusted. I would curse them out. I would blast them. But yeah, the PNP and truth should not be mentioned in the same sentence. And if what the gentleman was saying when he said there's not one decent hospital because of Anjohones, you tell us then, under PNP, when did our healthcare system, when was it decent? Tell us. Because it's Bruce Golding who came in and made healthcare in Jamaica, at least in the public hospitals, free. It's Bruce Golding who came in and you're able to go to pharmacy. There are some pharmacy, well, it's now at the hospital where you can go and get your medication free. He's the one who expanded all of that. So please, by all means, enlighten us. Tell us at what point in the history of this country under a PNP government have healthcare been better or decent? Please. I am someone who will listen. I will listen. I will go and research after you give me the information. And if you're correct, I will come back and say, you've got it. You were correct. So please, by all means, enlighten us. Until then, shut that nonsensical opening in your face.
In my peeps. So I'm finally going to respond to this comment. So I'm pretty certain when this person wrote, this person have been under this video. So I'm pretty certain when he wrote, make sure you have a, whatever that word is. I believe he meant decent. I am going to say it's decent. He wanted to say hospital to go if or when you're sick. 1 p.m. not going where he sent you. Let me tell you something. First and foremost is only PNP one. Send out them people. PNP give people one fish to eat. Andrew Holness teach his people how to fish. Therefore, he never has to send us anywhere. When time comes, we know where to go. So, he's not going to send us anywhere. And you have said, hope you have make sure you have a decent hospital. And I want anyone in Jamaica to tell me, at which point have Jamaica ever had a decent hospital? When? Where? What time? When have Jamaica ever had a good hospital? It is the first time in our history that we are seeing so much upgrade, new hospital being done. And it is being done under the Andrew Holness-led administration. In fact, the destruction of the Jamaica health system happened in the 18 and a half years that the PNP governed this country. From 1989 until 2007, when the PNP was in governance, the destruction of everything happened in Jamaica. So when you are going to say that word, that D word that you wrote, I'm chopping it up to decent. Know your history. Okay? Know your history. Because I went and I researched. I'm a researcher. I like to research. And the research says Jamaica Prime Minister Andrew Holness has led a massive island-wide infrastructure overhaul targeting dozens of public hospitals, regional facilities, and community health centers through initiatives like the Health System Strengthening Program. And the reason Andrew Holness have to do this is because the PNP did not do any of it. And so he has to lead a massive overhaul of the entire. When it says island-wide, it means the entire island of Jamaica. So it says major hospital built, upgraded, and redeveloping. Cornwall Regional Hospital, Spanish Town Hospital, Maypen Hospital. Cornwall Regional is in St. James. Spanish Town Hospital is in St. Catherine. Maypen Hospital in Clarendon. Bustamante Hospital for Children, St. Andrew. University Hospital of the West Indies in St. Andrew. St. Anne's Bay Hospital, as the name suggests, in St. Anne's Bay. Kingston Public Hospital in Kingston. Western Children and Adolescent Hospital. And this is a brand new specialized children hospital constructed in Western Jamaica. And Montego Bay Regional Facility. And this is a construction underway on a new comprehensive medical center. Not only is he upgrading the current structures that we have, the current system that we have, he is also building new structures, building new systems. So when you're going to talk, Andrew Holness is building and upgrading for me. I'm sorry, y'all. Whenever there's a change in the season, my sinus acts up. That's why my voice sounds this way. And in continuation, St. Jago Park Health Center in St. Catherine, Greater Portmore Health Center, Old Harbour Health Center, Chapelton Community Hospital, Bamboo Community Health Center, Thompson Town Health Center, Orchard Health Center, Brownstown Health Center, Maypen and West Health Center, Mocha Health Center. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 health centers across the island. Andrew Holness administration is doing that currently as we speak. So he is not upgrading. He's not only upgrading hospital across the entire island. He is also upgrading in tandem the health centers as well. And that is to take some pressure off the hospital. So Andrew Holness, when he is done, Jamaican people will be able to go to where the PNP did not send them. To where the PNP only destroyed Jamaica. So don't you come on my page and talk nonsense, because you can't even spell decent and you have the nerve. You have the nerve. And decent is so easy to spell, because if you break it down in a syllable, decent, it not so hard. Decent. That couldn't, the amount of letters the way you put in this, it never were needed. It wasn't necessary. It never necessary. The extra letters them where you put in was not necessary. DIESTENT. Oh my God. Where did you hear tent from in decent? Where did you get tent from in decent? As a matter of fact, where did you get the I sound from for you to put that extra letter there? D. I'm pretty certain you hear D and E. There is no I. And it says decent. So I'm pretty certain you did not hear the T sound. You heard the C sound. And that tells me that you need to go to Jamaica for lifelong learning. And if you don't know what Jamaica for lifelong learning is, it's the new name for Jamal. It's Jamal. So when you are coming, do your research first. And your Wholeness is doing what the PNP did not do in their 18 years, and that is to do a massive overhaul of the entire healthcare system in Jamaica. Now, I'm going to tell you something. You see, as much as we want to knock Jamaica healthcare system, you better be happy for it. Okay? Be thankful. Because with all the shortcomings, if you live in America, you cannot get healthcare or proper healthcare if you don't have health insurance. You have to run to the emergency room. Okay? And when you run to the emergency room, you feel going like you're dead for them look by you. Remember that. And let me tell you something. In Jamaica, you can walk into any medical doctor and get health care. Get care as long as you have your money. That crap don't fly in the United States. Okay? Without health care and without that doctor being your doctor, you can't go there. If you don't have your money, you can't go there. And it's a lot. Healthcare in America is very expensive. Also, if you even use the TV in the hospital, you get charged fee. If you press the button for call the doctor, you get charged fee. If you get an injection or a pill, you get charged fee. In a Jamaica public hospital, you don't have that. When you go to Jamaica hospital, leave and come and don't get no bill. Bill kill you, America. Huh.
Madam Speaker, there is an old Jamaican truth behind the saying, don't watch the noise of the market, watch the sale. When applied to politics and how we organize society, governance is not measured by the volume of noise made in a room, but by the quiet, steady progress felt on the ground. In recent times, we have observed a growing phenomenon in our national political space. We have watched those who confuse digital echo chamber with the true heart of the Jamaican people. We have seen the virtual petitions, the sensationalized live streams, the grand declarations, and the grandstanding designed purely to harvest clicks and capture headlines. They convince themselves, having been intoxicated by the exuberance of their own political ambitions, that because they can generate heat in a studio or on a screen, they command a mandate in the streets. But, Madam Speaker, when these same voices call for national disruption, when they urge our citizens to take to the streets and tear down the very stability of our democracy, what happens? What we see happen is that the flame fizzles to absolute silence. Why does it fizzle, Madam Speaker? Because the average working class Jamaican is far wiser than those who seek to manipulate them. The people of this country live in a real world. They understand the complex realities of governing an island nation in challenging global times. They know that managing a country requires tough trade-offs, fiscal discipline, and long-term planning, not quick fixes or theatrical outrage. When the Jamaican people look at the alternative being presented to them, they see no constructive blueprint. They see no better plan for health, for education, for security, or for the economy. They see only a desperate thirst for power. They see an opposition who is actively sabotaging opportunities for progress for the people and especially those affected by Hurricane Melissa. Our citizens understand that you do not tear down the house you live in simply because someone standing outside is shouting at the windows, especially when that person has no tools to build a better roof. The public has chosen responsibility over radical disruption and stability over political chaos. Madam Speaker, the gap between performance and progress has never been wider. While some count views and shares on a screen, this administration counts completed highways, newly built housing units, and modernized infrastructure. While some spend their energy drafting demands for resignations to create an operational vacuum, this government stays in the trenches doing the hard grinding work of national development. Action speaks louder than rhetoric. The Jamaican people recognize that despite the global headwinds, this government remains the most reliable, capable, and competent hands to guide this nation forward. Madam Speaker, the true character of any group is revealed not when times are good, but when disaster strikes. When the rain fell, when the wind blew, and when vulnerable Jamaicans were left picking up shattered pieces of their lives after the recent storm damage. The priority of every right-thinking citizen was simple: deliver aid, restore power, and put roofs back over the heads of our people. Yet, what did the country witness? We saw deliberate, calculated efforts from those seeking power to stall, delay, and obstruct administrative relief. We watched them weaponize bureaucratic red tape to freeze housing assistance and disaster aid, all for the cynical calculation of manufacturing public discontent. Madam Speaker, that is the fatal blow to their credibility. You cannot claim to care about the suffering of the poor while actively working to prolong their pain for political leverage. When the mask fell, the Jamaican people saw the reality. The party first, the public last. We have an opposition party who has fallen out of step with the Jamaican people. Better stated, we have a people who has outgrown the politics of handout. The modern Jamaican has ambitions that transcends anything the politics of handout can bring them. They were happy to hand out packages of food as if it came from their own pockets, but they are today actively sabotaging the rebuilding of Jamaica because they cannot conceivably take credit for any aspect of it. But Madam Speaker, that's their fault. They were in Garden House when the Nara bill was being debated. They had a chance to improve and support the bill. Every single one of the 28 voted against it. They are the 28 who hate. They hate progress. They hate the people because when they had a chance to take one for the people, when they had a chance to show unconditional love for the people who voted for them for over 60 years, they voted against the people. And when their vote did not destroy Nara, they then set out to sabotage it. Madam Speaker, this is not political rhetoric or hyperbolic sentimentalism. We have the receipts. We saw the votes and we heard the leaked voice notes. We know we have Duckans and Chichi on board the Jamaican ship of state, eating away at the hull to sink her to the bottom of the ocean floor of economic and social and political instability. They want crime to increase so they can be seen as an option, but they have only ever succeeded in growing crime. They want the economy to fail so that they can be considered as an alternative. Yet, they are the ones with the unenviable record of engineering the greatest financial disaster Jamaica has ever experienced while the rest of the world was growing. They have been attempting to besmirch the Prime Minister's good name and reputation and paint themselves as paragons of virtue. While their behavior is more than aligned with Duck Ants and Chichi. But Jamaicans are adept at pest control. And we burn duckans and chichi because then we yam down your house with you in there. Madam Speaker, good governance builds things. It does not destroy. Good governance pursues progress. It does not sabotage it. The streets of Jamaican reality have spoken in 3 consecutive elections. Madam Speaker, the public sees through the performative indignation of the opposition. They have rejected the politics of cynicism. They are rejecting the politics of handout and sabotage and are choosing vision over division, progress over poverty, infrastructure over performative frustration, and hope over fear. So the next time you see a trail of duckans gather to conspire to dig holes in the bottom of the ship of state of Jamaica, call them out, name them and shame them. There is no room in a prosperous society for termites and saboteurs. I thank you, Madam Speaker, and thank you all for liking, sharing, and engaging in my videos, as well as following me to Garden House. Walk good, Jamaica.